Building a low stress business isn't about going slow or having no goals. And in this video, I want to talk about our approach to this, as well as show you an AI tool we built that helps with reducing the stress of growth in the second example that I'm going to give later on. And just for context, the store right here that I'm showing on screen is a very low stress store that Alfred and I own and operate. And we operate it like it's on cruise control. To me, operating with low stress is about giving yourself space, kind of like how you drive. You can weave through traffic, tailgate every car in front of you, and try to beat every red light just to maybe shave off 5 minutes of your time. Or you can leave a little space. You can stay steady and get there around the same time without needing to be on edge the whole way. Both often get you to the same place. One just costs a lot more tension, and it's similar in business. It's not about avoiding pressure or avoiding the journey. It's about choice. It's about choosing lower pressure ways to operate that still get you where you want to go. So here's 3 examples that we can walk through of where in your business you have the choice to go more stress or less stress in your approach. And the first one that we can talk about is running ads, because all of our businesses need traffic. All of them need impressions. All of them need people to come to our websites to buy stuff. So one approach that you can take is going to be spending the same amount of money every day, no matter what. In this scenario, I consider this more stress. And the reason why is because regardless of how performance is going, and regardless of what the system forecasts, that money is going to be spent. On the other side of it, the less stressful side, the approach that we like to take is something called risk-reduced bidding. And this is where we give the platform a target, an efficiency target, when it comes to how much we're willing to pay per conversion or how much we want to make on the money that we spend, to only spend when it's confident and forecasting that it can hit those numbers. To me and to Alfred, the first one over here is predictable, but it comes with a little bit more stress. You're watching your spend pour out every day, even when results don't line up to what you need them to be. The second one, with risk-reduced bidding, when it's good, it scales up, and when it's off, it pulls back. And I like this because it gives me some structure with guardrails. And to me, it is the lower stress choice. The second area of where you can choose to be high stress versus low stress is going to be around your numbers. And the contrast that I'll make with there on this side is that we start with confusion. I think confusion is very high stress. When you're not clear on your numbers, it can induce a lot of anxiety. You might be getting a 2.0 ROAS, and you're not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You might be making sales every day, but not enough in margin to cover the month's expenses. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like driving in the rain with fogged up windows. You're moving, but you can't really see. And what it leads to is the possibility of reacting late and being tense and guessing what's ahead. But on the other side of it, on the low stress side, we have clarity. When the dashboard is clear and the wipers are working, even if the conditions aren't 100% perfect, you can still drive with confidence. When you know your numbers with simplicity and clarity, when you track contribution margin, your CPA or your CAC, your AOV and your profit regularly, you can operate with less relative stress because the signals are there. They're telling you what to look at. This is why we encourage brands in our program to run a simple habit that we call the daily radiance. And this is where you're tracking your key metrics every day so you can see what's radiating and shining to you where you can double down. And related to this clarity on top of your daily radiance is what do you want to achieve throughout your quarter and your year? Because if you don't have clarity on the end goal or the goal along the way, it can be very anxiety inducing. So to solve that, we have a tool that's available to all of our members, from our entry-level tier to our accelerator and partnership program. And you can get a trial to the entry-level tier in the description below. All you need to do is click this first button that says clarify my targets. Then it'll ask you to spit in and give it 2 different inputs. Really simple. So the first one is going to be your quarterly revenue goal. And the second is your AOV. So as an example, I'm going to say 100 grand for the quarter and that my AOV is $100. And now it's going to create some nice clarity for me. I can see each week what it is I need to hit when it comes to my revenue and how many conversions that's going to require. And on top of that, beyond just our weekly numbers that we need to hit, I now have clarity on the daily numbers. So I need to get 11 conversions per day at minimum to hit the daily sales target. And as a summary here, what I need to aim for each week is between 75 and 83 conversions per week. And the reason why is because the system helps us with accounting for a little bit of growth every single month. So that's why the ranges week to week shift a little bit, because we always want to be in the spirit of growing without the stress. And on average, it backs out to, in this case, with $100,000 being my goal for the quarter and an AOV of $100, 11 conversions per day, which I can use as my North Star. It gives me a lot of clarity and less confusion to know that 11 is my target number. If I look back at the last 3 days of sales and I'm seeing 1 sale, 2 sales, 0 sales, I'm going to know really easily that I'm off track and that some meaningful things need to change. And stress doesn't necessarily come from looking at things that are challenging and difficult. Stress more so comes from being uncertain about what it is that's required to achieve our goals. The last example that I have for you on the choices that we have to make between low stress and high stress is going to be around demand generation. And the stressful way to approach it is when we treat demand generation like a panic button, because the highest stress demand generation is the kind that you only do when you need the sales, because by the time you need it, you're going to be behind. You're chasing traffic, pushing harder and hoping the activity turns into revenue fast enough to matter. But demand doesn't always work on your timeline. It takes a little bit of time to build up and then it compounds. That's why for us, on the other side of it, we treat demand generation as a habit and a routine. Just like brushing your teeth, we recommend making it almost as part of your identity. And something that we recommend to all of the brands that we work with is something called the weekly plan. And the weekly plan is simply how many new funnels are you going to commit to and how many new ads are you going to commit to? And what's nice about it is that it creates a rhythm and momentum so that you're never starting from zero. Your demand generation is no longer a panic button that you have to push. It's just something that always happens. You're always building relationships in the marketplace with consumers, using your content that can be monetized this week, this month, this quarter, because the stress doesn't come from doing the marketing. It comes from only doing it when it's urgent. These are just 3 of many examples that you're going to encounter day to day. But the pattern holds in that a low stress business is possible if at every fork in the road that you face, you choose the less stressful path to operate. Again, if you want to test out this tool that gives you clarity on your goals, check out the first link in the description below. And you should watch this video next to see how we approach our ad strategy in a low stress way to make $1 million without stressing over winning ads.